Hi, how's it going?
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
I got temporary moderators for this too. So we have muting in my chat. So guys got to behave yourselves because don't usually have moderators. So,
Yeah, guys, my mods know the deal. People can have opinions and that's fine, but when it becomes disrespectful, that's when they get muted. Like if they're calling you names, if you know what I mean, like stuff that's just completely unnecessary. So,
cool.
yeah. Like it's okay to have input, have opinions. I like that. I love freedom of speech, but when it crosses that line to disrespect, then there's just no need for it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to take a second to, so I was kind of like prepping the chat a little bit about this, but do you want to take a second to like introduce yourself and talk about like what you do and like what we're going to talk, like what the format's going to be or whatever?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm serotonin. I know my name says koala right now. I changed it for 1 week, so oopsie. But I do have a YT channel that I do post all of my full version interviews on. That's at serotonin444 if you guys want to go check those out. But yeah, I've been doing interviews since last year, maybe December, I want to say, like early December. And then I just started posting them like a couple months ago. So, but I've been doing them for months now. And yeah, I do this because I feel that on TikTok, we don't get to really connect as much as we want to. It's a social media platform that feels a little antisocial to me. So I want people to be able to connect with the creators that they love and care about and support every day on a deeper level. So that's a little bit about me.
I watched your, oh, sorry. I watched your Perez Hilton interview and your Adrielle interview and your Barbie interview. I watched those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like between yesterday
Those
and today. Yeah.
those are the more dramatic ones. I feel like if I'm being honest, I do like to kind of like debunk rumors and stuff as well that people say about people and kind of like, just showcase who the person really is in general. Um, but I do think that every single creator that wants to do the interviews, they get out of it what they kind of put into it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And ahead of time this morning, I don't know if you saw it, I sent you a message like of the boundaries, but if you didn't see it, it's okay. There's only like a couple of things. So
Yeah, I did.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. It's not like very much. Like somebody said, I feel this isn't going to be real because you told her like ahead of time. Like it was like two things. It was just like my freelance work that I do, a couple of troll accounts, and then I think I think that was it. I can't remember anything else. It's like very basic stuff, you guys. So, you're
Yeah,
more than
and it
welcome.
is real. I ask every single creator beforehand, what are your boundaries? Because we're still human beings that have boundaries, which is healthy. And like, especially when it comes to social media, it's important to have boundaries as well.
Yeah, and then I also told her about, I told you about Pineapple Pass. So in my chat, whenever we're sick of something, the chat can start spamming pineapples, and it lets me know that I gotta like keep it moving. And then same for me, like somebody can ask me a question, I can be like, you know what, Pineapple Pass.
Yeah, it's valid. It's valid. We all have boundaries and it's healthy. So, okay, so I always start my interviews off by asking my co host, like, to introduce themselves as well. So, I just want to know, how did you get into social media? And just kind of introduce yourself to
Yeah.
that.
Well, so my story is I worked a corporate job for 16 years. So I worked for a company and I did a lot of things for that company. It was super stressful. And I decided to quit that job. That company went through like a lot of restructuring and I just kind of had like my breaking point. I had gotten sober as well. And so I'd been sober for like 5, 6 months at that point. And so I was starting to see things more clearly. And I just felt like my reality was just like not what I wanted it to be. So I took a trip to clear my head and I left my apartment for, I thought it'd be like a week or two. And I ended up being gone for 3 months. So I just loaded up the Jeep and just grabbed my dog and went to Colorado. I had an apartment in Texas at the time. And I just fell in love with it. Like, it was exactly what I needed to take a trip. Like, I'm not an outdoorsy person. I was very corporate. I was not like a camper, you know? And
Yeah.
I just found my zest and zeal. So I decided to get rid of my apartment, sell everything I own, and travel the country. So I ended up going back to my apartment after 3 months and sold everything I owned, gave my notice to my landlord, and hit the road. And I did that for 8 months before I started TikTok. So I was very hush hush quiet about it. I didn't have like a lot of confidence. I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but like I just couldn't really articulate it very well. And after about 8 months, I started getting my footing, and that's when I started my TikTok. I posted my first videos, and then I started live streaming, and we're here where we are now. So
Yeah, so you didn't go into TikTok with the intention of making it a livelihood or anything. You just kind of you were like, well, this is what I'm doing, so I might as well show the world. And
yeah, I was lonely, you know, like well, okay, I was like I was starting to figure everything out, and I wanted to like share stuff. And so really what happened was one morning I had been on TikTok and stuff, but I hadn't really thought too much about posting videos. But one morning Clover was like super cuddly, and Clover was just so cute, and her
yeah.
face was just so cute. And I was like, I would have, so I took a little video, and I was like, oh, I could just send this to my mom or my sister or something, but it wasn't like what I was looking for. So I posted it on TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's not that hard. So then I decided to do a day in the life video the same day. The same day, I just filmed everything through the day and cut it up into a video and posted it, and things just took off really fast.
That's so cool. Okay, yeah. No, I feel like the lonely thing is so relatable too, because like I did an internship and that's when I started social media and I was kind of lonely too, but I also wanted to share like what I was doing with people, you know? So I
Yeah.
feel like that's super relatable.
Yeah, yeah. I started like just wanting to share all of my little travel discoveries and how I was earning my income and how I was using equipment and
Yeah.
how I was spending my time and why I went to the places, how I found the places, like travel strategies. Like it just was very rewarding to be able to share all of that, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. What about like the views and the likes and stuff? Was that semi addicting at all?
Well, so it was, I don't know, like it wasn't like crazy fast. Like the first month, I think I got like 1,000 followers. And right away, a lot of those people are still here. Like those were very solid, those were very real, very solid people, you know? And as time progressed, like a lot of the people in here have been with me since the beginning, but we've picked up a lot of new people too. But I think when I started going live, so it was February of 2023 when I started posting on TikTok. And then I started going live June, and I went full time in November. So October was when I hit 10,000 followers. And so it was September was when I started getting like 1,000 people in the live stream. So I went from like 19 people in the live stream to 1,000 people. And do you know what it was? It was cooking in the Jeep, having the steering wheel showing and just cooking. And all of a sudden, like I wasn't cooking, and then I did one cooking live stream, and I thought I'd have 19 people in there, and I had straight up like 1,000 something people on that first cooking live stream, and then it just always stayed like that, you know, like I'd always have like all these people in here, and that was like super overwhelming.
Yeah.
It was the wrong people. So like it was like, ew, it's a dog, and like it was like you're feeding your dog steak, like you're ruining your dog's only supposed to eat kibble. It was just like the craziest comments, and I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean?
Okay. Yeah, dogs aren't supposed to eat meat. That's insane. Like,
I was like, what do you
okay.
mean dog food
All
is
right.
made out
Maybe
of?
we should do some little Googling, some little research on dogs, but okay.
But that, yeah,
Uh,
that's like where it all started. So that was September of 2023, and then by November I was just full-time TikToking. So
that's cool. That's really cool. I'm glad that you could find like a niche too, because I feel like that's really hard for a lot of people, and it seems like you were able to do that like pretty quickly.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you mentioned that you struggled with addiction, and that was one of the reasons why you wanted to leave your corporate job in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Um,
so I started drinking like in my 20s. I'm 40 now. So I started drinking in my 20s, and I started through my 30s. Like drinking kind of escalated, and I felt like I was starting to go from medium functioning to low functioning. And so I stopped drinking October 2021. And it was like February-ish, I think, that I quit my job. And then it was June that I started traveling. So there was like a period of time where like I started like getting clarity. I started clearing up in my head, like, I don't know, like sometimes we just use drinking or substances as like a crutch, I think. And I started realizing that the people around me weren't genuine, or I don't know, it's just like they were just drinking friends. And so I started losing like a lot of who I was. And when I quit my job, I did not expect this because I had worked my job for so long. I had worked my job since I was like 20 years old. Um, I did not realize the loss of identity that I was going to experience. Like have you ever seen, oh gosh, this is so weird to share, but like, have you ever seen that movie with Johnny Depp? It's called, what is it? Secret Window, or what is it? Window, that Window movie with Johnny Depp. It's a Stephen
Sounds
King.
good.
Anyways, I think it's called Secret Window or something. It's this window movie, and it's about how he loses his psyche, and there's like this crack in the ceiling that happens in the movie when he like switches over to like a new state of mind. And I felt like I felt that crack, like I felt that new state of mind. It was really weird. I like felt this crack in like myself, and I was like, why am I doing this? And I had this like this actual like physical reaction to that. Do you know what I'm talking about? You said you say
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like that moment of enlightenment, like when you're like, oh my gosh, like everything has been leading to me like realizing this at this
yeah.
moment.
So I think
Yeah.
it was like 4 or 5 months after I stopped drinking that I had that. And yeah, you have to realize too, that was like a big coping skill of mine for like social anxiety and whatever. And so I didn't have my usual coping method anymore for stuff. And so I had to find new ways to cope. And I don't think I did that very well. So instead of doing the smart thing and getting like a therapist and stuff, I quit my job and I decided to take a trip to clear my head. And actually, it didn't happen immediately. Like, I quit my job and I fell into like a depression spiral, and I had trouble like doing anything for a minute. Like, I felt all of a sudden like I was gone. And it was a few months later that I was like, okay, I just got to get out of the apartment. So I packed up the Jeep, and I thought it would be gone a week or two. I had some savings. So I thought I'd be gone a week or two, and I ended up being gone for 3 months. It was insane. I liked the spontaneity of it. I liked the adventure. I liked that I didn't bring a can opener with me and I had to go to the Dollar Tree and get a can opener.
Wow.
I liked that I like was without. I thought it was like fun to go out into the mountains.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's definitely spontaneous. I mean, not bringing a can opener, not being prepared. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's like
Yeah.
really cool. I feel like we all have a piece inside of us that just want that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you just like want to go out and like find yourself or whatever. And so what I felt like I felt like I got away from that noise of everybody else telling me I can't do things. You know, like you get people who say, "Well, why would you want to do that?" Or why you get people who I don't know, they limit you. They put you in this box and they decide who you are, and they lie in wait for you to fail or whatever. And I felt like I just got away from all of those influencers and I could just discover who I was. So it was, I think, the second month into my travels that I decided that I wanted to do this long term. And I started really looking around at the people around me because I was in Colorado. So I was able to look around and see other people camping, and they looked like they were like living the lifestyle. Like, I wasn't fully aware of like van life and stuff. And I was Googling the wrong things. Like, I was Googling through hiking. I was Googling like ladies hiking and what they did for dry shampoo. And I wasn't Googling van life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was about 2 months in that I was like, oh, I saw like a bumper sticker that said hashtag van life. And so I Googled van life and I was like, oh, like this. Yeah. And so that was about the second month in. And I went back, got rid of all of my stuff. And then, so I was in Denver, and I decided to go to Phoenix at that point. So, and then I spent the winter in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool stuff, and it's super intriguing. There's no question for me to why people are so interested in what you're doing. Um, okay. Let's see. Did you create a coloring book? Was that something you said?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So we celebrated 300 subscribers in December of 2023. And what I did is my pillowcase. I decided to write all the subscribers' names on my pillowcase because I didn't have anything else to write them on.
Okay.
And we came up with this pillowcase, and I had to go through 6 pillowcases. And finally, I was like, okay, the pillowcases are too much. So
Yeah.
I have a little like sketchbook, and I started just doing subscriber coloring time. So it'd be like an hour or two where we turn it on to subscriber only, and they tell me what to draw, and I draw. And so I have some of that on my Instagram if people want to see. It's just goofy. It's just like draw my dog, like draw a bird. Like people just tell me what to draw and I draw. But I haven't done that since like August, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But it
Okay,
was
so no coloring book.
crazy. Yeah, it was crazy because everybody started subscribing because they wanted me to draw pictures, like they were like all of a sudden we would get like 10 subscribers out of nowhere because they want their name on the pillowcase, or they want me to draw a picture of their dog,
Are you artistic? I feel like you have like some artistic abilities about you. I'm not. Like if you ask me to draw a dog, it's not gonna look like it's gonna look like an elephant or something. But
Yeah, they're not very good, it's just something fun to do, and it's like really calming live stream. So for like an hour or two I just point the camera at it and I'm just drawing what
yeah.
everybody's putting in the chat, so it's just a chill live stream.
Okay. Yeah, that's
started
fun.
out it started out like stick figures actually, and then it became more and more over time.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Um
I'm
okay.
surprised you saw that.
I do my research, I have to. Okay, let's see. Um,
Do you want to battle while we do this,
yeah, we
or
can. Absolutely.
Oops.
Okay, so let's talk about the darker side of TikTok for a little bit. Obviously you have a lot of cool stuff going on. So you do have some haters. Everybody does. They claimed that you attempted to scam your supporters when your Jeep was malfunctioning, which I personally don't understand that at all. Like if you're saying that my Jeep is like broken or whatever, like broken down, like that,
Yeah.
how are you scamming people when that's just what it is? Like, but okay.
Yeah.
But what do you say to that
Yeah.
accusation?
Yeah. Well, okay. So what happened was, I was driving and the Jeep broke down, and coolant and oil flew out of it, and I got it towed, and I asked the tow truck driver, is that oil or coolant? He said it's both. And then, thank you guys. Thanks for the gifts. He goes, it's both. And then, I took it to the Jeep dealership. I had it towed there. And, the guy goes, well, I have to look under the hood, but I think your engine's blown. So that's what the whole live stream was about. That's what everything was about, was I think the engine's blown. He told me it's, going to be $10,000 or so to get that fixed. And I said, well, I don't want to put $10,000 into the Jeep. I think I'm going to try to trade it in and get a loan. So I got pre-approved for a loan. And I let everybody on the live stream know that I got pre-approved for a loan, and I was going to trade it in and maybe try to get a van or a sedan or a car or something. And we spent the whole live stream talking about like what I should get for a vehicle. And then the mechanic called me and let me know that the engine was not blown, that it was like 7 things. So I got the Jeep fixed for, I think it was, was it $3,400 or $4,300? I think it was $4,300 roughly. And that was, you guys are sending so many. Thank you guys. And so I got about $2,000 worth of donations and gifts and stuff, which was amazing. But I didn't ask for any of those. I didn't ask for any of those at all. I had some really amazing supporters who just sent stuff. And they, some of them even said, here, this is for coffee and stuff. So I never set up a GoFundMe. I never even pinned my Cash App or anything. People just went and did that because they wanted to. And it was so It was so moving and uplifting. And I told everybody, so since the Jeep's engine is not blown, we're going to just get the Jeep fixed. And so I still had to pay for some of that myself. Like the donations were not like, it wasn't like I was, I mean, I profited from that, I guess, but like I still had to pay for my own repairs too, you know?
Yeah.
And that was with the dealership, the representative. He negotiated everything down for me. He negotiated the labor. I think he dropped it from 180 to 150.
Oh, nice.
He negotiated down all of the parts. I talked to the manager of the car dealership like 2-3 times for the service area for that and everything. So it was all very above board. Like I showed everybody my paperwork. The paperwork is still on Discord if people want to see that. I showed the whole list of all the things that were fixed on the Jeep. And I didn't ask for anything. I said, you guys do not have to do this. And then when I let everybody know that the Jeep was getting fixed, I said, if anybody had sent over a Cash App or anything in hopes of putting that towards a down payment, you can ask for that back. Just ask for it back. Not a single person asked for it back because it was none of the supporters that said that. It was only the haters. And they just saw me saying, thank you so much for the Cash Apps. They didn't know how much of Cash Apps were sent. They saw the gifts coming through and they were really hating on that. But I never even said anything about like needing anything. Like I got pre-approved for a loan. So I didn't need to raise funds for a down payment or anything like that. People just did that because they wanted to. And so it ended up going to fixing the Jeep. And that was actually really great. Plus I got this hardtop for free. And I got the fenders for free too. And so it ended up being so much better than getting a new vehicle to just get the Jeep fixed.
Yeah. So I guess why are people upset? Do you think it's because they're like jealous that you have support? Like, I mean, why do you think people, your haters, are like annoying, calling you out, like whatever?
Biggest controversy. If I ever buy a single new thing, you know, you have a cooler, you don't have a cooler, your sleeping bag, anything I get is like the biggest controversy. And I think probably, I was trying to think back on like why my gear is the biggest, like such a big thing. And I think it might be because I was so open from the beginning about like my door dashing and how much money I made and where it went. Like I used to do these budget videos. I don't do them anymore and they're all privated, but I used to do these budget videos talking about like how much money I spent every month on dog food. And, you know, like I just micro analyze.
That has to be part of your travel vlogging thing, right? So
Yeah, I had to stop doing that. And then I had to stop going into depth so much about my gear. If I buy a $12 skillet, it's not a big controversy. Like I think that what happens is you have people who, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is there anybody in your chat saying anything? Like, I don't really know why there's so much buzz about it, but I'm trying to not talk about those things as much anymore I think mitigate that a little because like it'll also be too like, oh, she bought 2 bundles of firewood instead of 1 bundle of firewood, or you know, it's just like
why does that matter is like I don't understand why that matters. And like in my opinion, if somebody wants, even if you did ask, if somebody wants to support you,
okay, and
that's their money, they get to decide if they want to or not, right? So like
it's not like we're making a ton of money over here. Like, you can just even tell from my league level, like, we're doing okay, but it's not like we're, battle. You know, it's not like we're like, I don't.
If you were, that's your choice. And then also, it's people that support you. It's their choice to support you or not support you. Like,
yeah. And I feel like
I'm like questioning, is there something that like, is hidden? Like, I mean, you clearly laid out every detail of the Jeep situation, and so I don't really understand why people are upset about it. I don't know.
Well, I do know. Okay, so there's a few other travelers that create content, and I don't think they get the views. And I think that it has something to do with I don't know. I think it has something to do with the travel community. There's some issues of some drama that's come across between other travelers that kind of spills in over here, and I try my best to mitigate that. Like I try my best to not weigh in on situations and not talk about things. But I think that some of the things that happens is like their views will drop down. They'll see me having 600 views, 500 views, 1,000 views, and they're sitting in their live stream with the same people, and they will try to. I hate to use that word chasing clout or whatever, but
Right.
I feel
It's like, what even is that? But I feel like you're right. I feel like chasing clout is like drawing the line between like being disrespectful to other creators and like using their name to get ahead versus like I don't know anything about yourself, making your own type of content, like having your own niche that is successful, you know.
Well, I think one of the reasons why we hold so many people that we do is because I'm cooking, I'm hiking, I'm out in the tent in the middle of the freaking desert.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't have time to think about those people, but if they can get me to say their name while I'm cooking in the biggest part of the live stream, then or if they can get me to focus in on the negative, like then it makes I think it deters things. Like if they can get me to talk about the controversy of buying a tent or the controversy of buying a new pan.
Controversy is crazy, but yeah, I guess. Like, oh my God, you bought a tent! Wow! Like, woo!
You know what? The newest controversy is probably going to be this is it's getting down there. It's like a rusty old coal miner, and it's probably going to be replaced soon. And we're going to probably replace it with a nicer one. And I think that it might.
You're going to replace your spatula. Really? You feel comfortable doing that?
It's so crazy. I don't know actually why, but I mean, yeah.
No, it's
like
funny.
Even today, people were commenting about my cooler because I was using my sister's cooler before, which was the same cooler, only it was bright blue, and I gave it back to her, and I bought one for myself, and they were like asking all about the cooler, and I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep.
It's really deep, Steph. It's deep. I'm sorry. No, I don't know. That's crazy. Okay. So I completely get what you mean about not liking the drama. I feel like there's definitely a line. Like we can talk about situations without putting others down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, like so we'll have situations come up with other creators, and I think that that's like normal part of TikTok. I don't think you can completely avoid that altogether, but I decided like I really don't want to say other people's names. I want to try to generalize and just really focus on the channel and not focus on what's going on with other people. It's just tacky or whatever. Like we don't have to do that,
100%. So let's move on. So I heard you say once that you're not interested in relationships at this point in your life. Is that something that you envision in your future? Do you see yourself getting married ever, or what do you think? What do you see for yourself when it comes to relationships?
Well, okay, so I've mostly been solo most of my life. So I got married when I was 18 and divorced. I got married in 2003 and divorced in 2006. And then I've dated here and there throughout my 20s and 30s. Like I'll have relationships here and there, but I never moved anybody into my apartment. I never moved into anybody else's apartment. I've always lived alone. And even if we've dated for several months, it's not like progressed beyond that because I've always been so focused on my job and just, I don't know, just, we all have our things, right? And on the road, I couldn't imagine dating. The last time I was in a serious relationship, and I don't even know how serious it was 2019. And then I dated a couple of people in 2020. I think it might have been 2021. I think it was end of 2020, early 2021. I went on some dates.
Was this travel?
This was before the travel. I didn't start traveling until June of 2022.
Okay.
Since I've been traveling, I don't have an interest in dating. I do like to date both men and women. I don't know what to call that. I'm not big on labels, but the next person I date will probably be a woman who travels. Okay. Who's like got a similar vibe as me, but I don't know. That probably won't be for a couple of years. I've seen people try to date on the internet, on TikTok, and the last thing I want is somebody trying to like date me just just because of the channel or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
I
it's
have
not
this.
real then. The connection's not real then.
Mhm.
If
I
it's
have.
founded, if there's no, like, if that's the foundation of a relationship, right? Like, what?
Like, I just couldn't imagine dating. But I do want to fall in love again. I do want to date. I do want to fall in love. Maybe like 2027 or something. And if it happens before then that's fine too.
What's
But
happening in 2027? It's so specific.
like a couple of years.
Okay.
June of 2027, darn it.
That's when we start re-upping the Tinder profile, right?
I'm only in places for 1 to 6 days, and so to keep up with me would be really hard. I think, like travel wise, so I got to get all this out of my system and travel slower. And I think at that point, like I could meet somebody, we could stay somewhere for like longer term, like seasonal places or something. You know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
How would you even meet somebody? I guess, would you meet someone at a campsite or like, because if it's not social media related, I guess
Yeah.
you can technically meet anyone anywhere, like any gas station, anything really. Like it could just fall in your lap. But
I don't know. I don't know. And then I wouldn't even know if it was real or not. Cause like, what if they saw like, I hate to do it, but like everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh, it's Steph and Clover" for like the camping scene and stuff. And so I wouldn't want them to know like about the channel. I wouldn't want them to know about me, and I'd want it to be organic, and I wouldn't know if it was or not, unless I wasn't doing this anymore or something. Like I couldn't imagine doing this while I'm doing the channel. I don't know. Well, we'll find out. I'll let you know. I'll message you in a couple years, and I'll be like, "Guess what? It happened. It's happening."
or it'll happen tomorrow. You never know.
You never know.
Right? Okay, cool. Okay. So have you ever had any issues with supporters? Break down what challenges you experience with social media and how you've overcome that.
Um, have I ever had any issues with supporters?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've had like the normal, I think like most people have had people take it too far and like come and, I'll have people come and find me. Like they'll recognize where I'm camping and come to my campsite. I've had a couple of guys come to where I was camping. Um, I've had, women have done it too. And it depends on like where I'm at and where I'm live streaming, but the public live streaming has kind of not been as much as it used to. So I used to go sightseeing all the time, but now most of the time when I do, people come specifically from the live stream to like come and find me and meet me. And it's like there's a certain there's like certain times where it's okay and certain times where it's not okay. And I don't know how to like put that boundary out very well with people, but most of the time it's like not okay to come and find me, I guess would be like the
Yeah.
boundary.
So people
But
have like seen where you are on TikTok and like
yeah,
physically like
like they'll recognize the tree or they'll like, and it's fine, sometimes it's okay. But like for example, if you knew where I was camping and you wanted to come out here at 10 o'clock at night or something, that's like not okay. And so I've had that happen a couple of times, but
yeah, that's an
now I
invasion.
don't advertise where it is as much anymore. Like out here, this is miles and miles long, so it's not as big of a deal as it is in other places. But so the challenges of that will be like a lot of times people want to come and meet me or just meet Clover or come say hi or whatever. And I think the best thing is like just to message me and arrange that ahead of time. And right now I'm not doing any meetups, but I would like to do meetups. I have done meetups in the past and I would like to do meetups again. And I've done some collaborations. I've gone skydiving with a person. I've gone camping with a couple of people. I think that it would be fun to do that again. It's just like the timing right now is not good, but later, DM me and we can start talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Can I ask, just from like the way that you've spoken about it, I almost feel like some of the things that people are saying, it gets to you. Is that true? Like, because who cares about a freaking spatula? Who cares? You know what I mean? I don't know. Some of the things that like, because I don't see anything wrong with replacing your idol or I don't know, whatever. Like, even if you were to ask for money, like, who cares? Like, it's your platform. People like you, and if they want, it's not like you're like, send me all your money. Like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah. For the longest time, I didn't have my Cash App up or anything. But because of the expenses that I've had now, people have said put the Cash App up because people don't want to gift on TikTok people want to send direct cash apps and stuff. And so I'm okay with that. But once we get to a point again where I'm more leveled out, I won't have the cash app up anymore, and we'll only do TikTok gifts. And we're getting pretty much there too. But like Clover, she'll need, like I'll need things eventually. So I'm keeping it up, and then, we'll balance out. But I don't ask for anything. You'll never see me asking for gas money or food. Like
regardless,
I mean, even if I did,
do you let this stuff get to you? Because like, there's always gonna be people on the internet that don't like. They won't like everyone. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, So like, I guess why let it get to you? Because
I got to work on it. Well, they don't make a handbook for this kind of stuff. And I think that a lot of people do get a reaction out of me. And that is, like some of the things they say, I'll react to. And I want to set the record straight. And I've learned I can't stop things to set the record straight, because I'll never set it straight. And so, what I have to do is just block and bless, like just block, mute, and not address it sometimes. But sometimes I do. So I'll like sit down and I'll be like, okay, you guys, and I'll like clear the air, and they like the attention of me like stopping everything to talk to them, I think is what happens sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think do whatever works for you, obviously, because I mean, yeah.
If you look at any other genre, any other, like aside from the travel piece, like if you look at the makeup, if you look at, I don't know, whatever category you want to look at, nobody cares if what your stuff is in your house. Nobody's asking you, oh, where did you get that headband? How much did you cost? Who do you think you are, Miss Headband Lady? Like, nobody's doing that.
Right. Are you gonna throw that away tomorrow? Like, woo! If I want to, excuse me.
But I do that, like, and I will like upgrade my gear, which I think, okay, so as a traveler, here's the big thing that all travelers should just like know and embrace is you're always going to be upgrading your gear, especially if you do start live streaming. You do need to upgrade your batteries. You do need to upgrade your cooking systems. You do learn about like things that work and don't work. For example, the tent thing is the biggest drama, I think. And what happens is we get these storms come through and they destroy the tents, and then we get these new tents, and so people don't always understand that. But like that's just part of the travel. That's just part of the road. If you go onto any hiking forum where they go backpacking out and they're in the elements, people go through tarps. It's just a tarp. Yeah. People go through cooking elements. They burn out.
You don't have to explain. Like, it's I don't know.
It's not even a thing. But see, I get like I want to explain. I want everybody to know. I'm a bit of a people person, people pleaser. So I want people to understand, like, it's not malicious. I guess that's what I want, is people to know it's not malicious. Dang, DC, Casey, and Rita, you guys sent so many. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sending all those points. That was wild.
So a lot of people, I'm gonna ask it because so many people have asked it. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate you, girl. What happened with the Starlink? Because everyone keeps talking about the Starlink. I don't know. Like, they said that you threw it out or something. Which,
yeah, well, a guy called me.
This is along the same category.
A guy called me like a mustache man. Like a person called me a schmatzy. I don't know if I can say that word. But like, so I was like, and I was like, fine, I'll just throw it away. And they were like, yeah, throw it away. And so I like went over to the trash can and I threw away the Starlink. And then another camper came and pulled it out, and so they have it. So
wait, I'm confused.
The Elon Musk thing, because of like, it turned into a political thing. They were like, you're supporting Elon Musk, and Elon Musk had just done the salute, and so they were coming into the stream saying, oh, you're supporting Elon Musk, and I was like, I don't support him. And so I felt like I don't know, I was just like caught up in it, because you have to realize too, I had been live at that point for so long, and they were digging into me already. And so like when they're digging into you, all of a sudden sometimes you just have like a little meltdown. So I had a little meltdown because I was like, well, I don't support that. And so fine, I'll just throw it away. We don't need it. I do need it for travel, so it does suck. I do have another one. I have two Starlinks. I left the one at my mom's house, the big one, because it had shattered on the road, and so I bought a new one, and it was the new one that I threw away. So I'll probably go get the one from her house eventually, just because I do other kind of work too. Like I told you, I do like freelance work and stuff, and so I do need it to be able to connect to things sometimes. But I'm making it work for right now. But I should not have thrown it away. I do feel bad that I threw it away. Some other camper has it apparently, so that's good. At least it didn't go in the dumpster. But I didn't want. I was like, I just like fed into that. I was getting trolled pretty hard at the time. Like I was under a total troll attack at that point.
But I almost feel like you're allowing that. I don't
I do
know.
allow it, yeah.
Like, just screw them, you know? Who cares? I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm on social media, so I understand. And I have those days, but it's like they don't, it doesn't matter. Their opinions don't matter, you know?
I know,
They
that's
as
what my mom
people
said.
matter, but their opinions don't. I'm sorry. Like, they don't.
My mom goes, F them, F them, F them all. And I was like, I know, but it's like not so easy. Like you need practice with those scenarios. So now that I've been in, like now I've fallen into some of the traps that they set for you. Like I know how to kind of head those off these days a little bit better than sometimes. Because sometimes I just let them, I'll be live for like 6 hours and I'll just let them, you know, like hit me hard. And they'll know, they know me pretty well. So they'll know what to say to get to me, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're so good at that. Oh my gosh. They literally go for your insecurities. They're so good at it. But it's like, if you let them get to you, then they know what to say next time. They know how to keep hurting you. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. So whenever somebody asks me about Starlink on the live stream, I always say, we don't talk about Starlink. That's all I do. I just say, we don't talk about Starlink.
okay. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It seems like a silly thing. Once again, not a crime, but
One day I'll just randomly have it again, you know, and it won't be a big deal. It's just, it'll be needed for work or whatever. Now, here's the thing too. Starlink is very expensive, you guys. Starlink is $160 a month. By throwing it away and discontinuing it for 3 months, I've saved money. So I've saved money by throwing it away and discontinuing it. Even if I buy it again, I've still saved money over these months. So if for anybody who's budget conscious out there.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. How do you feel about people using you for drama or using drama with their, oh my gosh. I can't speak. Okay. Let me just read the question. How about that? How do you feel about people using drama for views? And then why did you decide not to associate with hell? That's what HEL. I don't know if that's the
Yeah. So hell, I don't even know if hell even pays attention to anything I'm doing either. So I don't pay any. So she's blocked me. So what happened was, I'm friends with a hitchhiker on here. He's a train hopper and a hitchhiker. He travels across the country and he rides trains illegally and he hitchhikes. And it's all very interesting. We've had a friendship for a couple of years. It's very platonic. We've met up. We've gone axe throwing. We've gone camping. It's been great. Several months after we met up, he met up with her, and I guess he didn't want to cuddle with her. And there was like this thing, this big drama that has played out between the two of them that has nothing to do with me. We're not romantic in any way. I'm pretty open about the fact that I would rather date a girl right now. Also, I don't smoke. I don't drink. All of these guys, they smoke, they drink. They're much more adventurous than me. I'm very vanilla.
Are we not allowed to have platonic relationships?
I know, it's all very platonic. So I feel like we've made this very clear. But so anyway, so she got together with him, and I guess they were together for a few days, and it didn't work out. And I think she stormed off, and I don't know. So they were live streaming, and then it became this big festering thing where it's all over. They all have their own Reddits, and people are going crazy about it and stuff. And then I get dragged into it. I don't know what has been really said, but she blocked me from the beginning. So I hadn't interacted with her. My interaction with her was, I think, like back in May or something, like several months ago, previous to all of that. She had come up on my FYP, and I sent her a hand heart, and I said, "Oh my gosh, you go, girl." I was so like thrilled to see a traveler out there. She was hitchhiking. I've never hitchhiked in my life. I thought that was so badass. I was like, you are freaking living the life. I thought it was so cool. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yes. sometimes we do polls in the chat. I'm like, would you guys ever go hitchhiking? Like, it's so cool. But so anyways, that was the only interaction I'd ever had with her, was that one live stream where we followed each other. And that was it. And that was like months and months ahead of time. So then I guess they had this thing. So she blocked me. And I was like, that's cool. I actually sent her a message and I said, hey, I understand that you and this other creator had this falling out. I just want you to know, like, I get that you blocked me and everything because I'm friends with him. She said the reason that she blocked me was because I'm friends with him and she just didn't want to see it. And she didn't know me. I didn't know her. I completely get it. So that was that. That was actually that. And then all the trolls have tried to make it this thing where they pit us against each other. I still haven't interacted with her since then. I don't have any ill will towards her. I have said multiple times, instead of them trying to bring my channel into it, she should pick up a pan and start cooking. I don't know. Like, I feel like instead of like festering it, because she's gone on to talk about the size of his member. She's gone on to talk about like,
Oh my God.
she's gone on to talk about all of his personal stuff. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear all this. And it's so rude. And it's so like mean. Like, I'm sorry, if even if all the things that she has said, let's say every single thing she has said about that guy is true, it is mean and it is rude. And I don't want that anywhere near my channel at all. Like, it is so mean. I am so on his side about all of that stuff. And it's just the worst. So I don't know anything about it. I try not to talk about her. I try to always sidestep it whenever it comes up. I don't want the drama.
Yeah.
People force it. People do force it. And I actually do hope that, like, I hope her channel blows up. I hope that she has
you want the best for everybody around you. It doesn't matter how they feel about you. That's exactly what I look for in people that I surround myself with, is that mindset.
Yeah, there's no reason for all of this. Like, imagine, okay, so if here's how I feel about all the traveling community, all the hitchhikers out there, all the people camping and traveling in their vans and stuff. If we all got together, we could be up in the rankings. We could be so supportive of each other and build and share our community and normalize getting a little dirt under the fingernails. Like, I think that people would love to see it. But instead, what happens is, I've been noticing this in the communities, is that they just try to drag you down. They just try to drag you down so they can get up. And I'm not saying she's doing that. I think a lot of what has happened, I'm just talking generic now. Right. I think a lot of what has happened with the hell stuff is the community. She has pulled all of his haters, because he has over 100,000 followers. She's pulled all of his haters. She's pulled all of my haters. And it's blown it up so that all those haters are coming and they're just trying to amplify it.
That is a really good point about social media that I really, like, you just kind of made me think about that. Like, if you're anti another person, then you're going to pull support from people that don't like them. I didn't even really think about that, honestly, but that's... And
she's beautiful. She's so talented. She has so much, there's so much great there. Like, it sucks. It sucks that it's gone to that. But, you know, that all of that comes from like a love situation that has nothing to do with me. And it's too bad that we can't all just be friends. So that's how I feel about it. And I don't like the drama. So
yeah, I like that answer. I think that's really mature. And honestly, I feel like whether you're a streamer or just somebody in the comments, like, I feel like that should be pretty eye-opening to kind of like the dynamics with streamers. So that's cool.
And I don't watch that, and I wish it would go away. I really do. I wish it would all go away.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So I saw a video of you confronting what happened with somebody called Maddie. I thought that you handled it really well. Like, you were respectful and you were just genuinely explaining the situation again, like you literally just did. Like, what do you think prompted her to speak negatively about you in the first place?
I don't know. I was warned about her. So that happened in May, and I was warned about her in December. And I had multiple people message me warning me about her, that she was like on my Reddit and that she was super critical. So there's another creator, I won't say his name, but he has like 300,000 plus followers. And me and him became friends for like a week. So he had come up on the FYP and I was told I should go check him out. So I went and checked him out, and I sent him a little hand heart. He was talking about some stuff that really resonated with me. And so then he followed me back, and he went into my live stream and sent me some private jets. And it was like this back and forth. Mm-hmm. And so anyways, at that point, Maddie was really critical of me because I guess she's one of his haters. And so everybody was sending me all of these videos about this guy. And so eventually there was this one video I couldn't ignore about him talking about stuff. And he was talking about things he was going to do to a viewer's daughter. And so I was like, well, I can't associate with you anymore, sir. So I ended up blocking that creator, and I wish him the best too. I really do, but I just don't want to be involved in anything like that. And so Maddie was like, hey, I just want to let you know I respect that. I was super critical of you. You know, whatever, all that beef has been squashed type of thing. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really know how deep that ran. And then within a couple of months, she was going on me about, like, I don't know, she left me like 12 voicemails going on about my platform and how I need to be making videos about certain topics and certain things. And I ended up blocking her. And then it just turned into this whole thing where it was this big, huge smear campaign. And it actually made me cry because I felt like with Maddie that she was a female, I was a female, we were travelers. She was the first female traveler to, like, I don't know, like, that was a big betrayal to me. And so it hurt me really bad. I cried about that for like a week because I really liked her. And it was really hurtful that she would do that. And then her moderator made up stories about like how they had met me. I'd never met her moderator before. She deleted all that. They deleted all of that stuff. So that was good. I don't know what's still out there about it all, but I have chosen not to watch it. I have chosen to just turn my back to all of that. I don't even know what they've claimed or said at this point. It's just, all I know, it was really hurtful, and it just sucked a lot, actually, that she did that.
I agree with that too, because I've experienced the same thing where it's like, oh my gosh, you're a woman. We're supposed to be like in each other's corner. We already have it hard enough. And like, it's not like that. I honestly think it doesn't matter what gender a person is. Like, they can be a sweet, kind, honest person, or they can try to hurt you. And that's just how it is. And social media probably brings out a lot of negativity for people too. So
it really does. Well, and okay, and so there was a couple things before that. So like, her views were down. Her views were so down. And she had messaged me, and she was like, how are you getting your views to be so high? Because I was still having the 600 range. I was still having the big ones, and she did too. And then her views were under 100. She was getting like 30, 60 people in her room at the time. And she had messaged me, and she was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and that kind of thing. And she was dealing with this other creator. She had a problem with this other creator too that, I guess I won't go into that, but like, she was messaging me, talking about this other creator and how her and this other creator were conspiring on how to get views from me. So it was her and this other guy, he was like a waffle guy. His name's Tom. And he did Tom's waffles, and I invited him on the live stream, and I let him sell his waffles, and he got all these sales, and it was a beautiful thing, okay? Awesome. And I really liked Tom. But then Maddie and Tom were collaborating, and Tom told her all these crazy stories. He said that he was on the phone with me all the time talking about like my views and my subscribers and stuff. I've never talked to Tom on the phone. None of this stuff happened. And so she opened up to me talking about how like Tom was going to come and make content with me. And so she would like strategize with Tom about like the platforms and how they could get views and how they could like use views. And she apologized again for that too. And so I think a lot of this stuff, it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of it has to do with the views, and I don't even think about it. I'm just wanting to collaborate and be friends. And I'm too, trusting or susceptible of people. And, I think that like it, in hindsight, it comes down to some of that too. Because like, why would you just have a big smear campaign out of nowhere? You know, I think it was like coordinated and on purpose.
Interesting. Yeah.
I know I didn't say that very well, but it's all very emotional and it sucks. Like, I don't know.
Right, and that's another girl. Oh my gosh, I just want so desperately for you to not care about
I
that
know.
stuff. Because literally, if you have full confidence in yourself, knowing that you're a good person, because it seems like that's one of the insecurities. Because if you're like trying to explain yourself, you need to know that you're a good person and that you're making good decisions. And like that, yeah. Basically, I feel like that's the biggest one. And like then if you just make sure that you have that inside of you, then like no one can touch you, you know? Like
Because we're
seriously, like
unstoppable,
I'm
but
just
we're
saying.
not. We're insecure little kids that just need the world to love us.
No, right. I get it. Trust me. It's so hard. And like it wavers too sometimes. Sometimes you have a bad day and you're like, I don't feel the best today. And then like people can easily get their little freaking
They
fingers.
do. They get their claws in you, yeah. And they will like. So what I've learned too is people will on this app they will try to be your friend on purpose, like to specifically like coordinate a downfall of you or something. Like they will conspire like how to take you down. Like I've gotten warnings from others that I didn't let those people in. But I've gotten warnings from others where there was like one person tell a story with a bouquet. Thank you. There was one person who was in somebody's living room talking about how much they hated me and how like they could come up with these stories with my chat to like take me down or whatever. And so
People have messaged me like saying like I want to take this person down. I just blocked them. I was like, "You're crazy. Like I'm sorry, but I don't play that shit. I'm sorry. Like no." That's
these
happened to me
people
multiple
exist.
times. Multiple times. Multiple people have done that. It's
That's
wild.
so crazy. Yeah. So I didn't know that that existed until like this last year. And so like now that I'm like, oh, okay, we have to like elevate the platform and not give voice to those people and just ignore it. And
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
a learning curve for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Who is Troy? That was another name that I saw
That's
pop
the
up.
guy that held a hitchhiker. That's the guy
Okay.
that
Okay.
they were flirting really heavily. They thought that they would maybe have a relationship or something and it didn't work out. So the story with Troy was we started following each other in 2023. And we've just supported each other a lot. We have a good chemistry with the live stream. So like everybody go follow Troy. He's a hitchhiker. He's traveling the country by freight train. Oh, everybody go follow Steph. She's traveling the country in her Jeep. And we've just had really good like professional relationship. It's never been romantic, but people will try to push it into a romantic place. And so
They love that's like them like inputting their own narrative into
yeah.
your life.
And he's never been anything that I can see anything other than respectful, very upfront about his intentions, lets you know right off the bat like where he stands, and that's very like it's just like I felt very comfortable with him as a creator and stuff. I've given him a lot of space since the health stuff because of how much my channel has brought to that or whatever, like how they try to inflame it. Like I guess me and Hal both colored our hair at the same time, and I colored mine forest green and she colored hers like lime green or something. And so that was like a big controversy. But I didn't know because she let me know. I didn't know because I didn't even know. And so we're just two travelers who liked to color our hair, I guess. I don't know. And so it's
Oh
like,
my
okay, I better just
gosh.
distance myself. So I've been distancing myself from that whole crowd, basically. But Troy's awesome. Troy's very awesome. If you guys aren't following him, you should give him a follow. His name is Anywhere Man Hobo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, it's so funny. I feel like you should totally take that as a compliment that so many people are like coming at you sideways because it means that you're doing something right, you know? But
I don't know. It sucks. It sucks because you like, especially like when you focus. I don't focus on these people, so you don't. It's just not fair.
it's that is one of the caveats of social media. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. So you already talked about how your Jeep was part of your success in streaming. Why do you think that is? And what do you recommend to people that look up to you and want to be successful on social media?
Well, don't do it. That's what I say. Don't do it. Make sure that if you want to do social media that you have a thick skin. But also like okay, here's the thing. It's all inch by inch, mile by mile. Everything, travel and live streaming. It's all, you're living it day by day by day, and you have to have these experiences. You have to have these falling outs with creators. You have to have your Jeep, will get a flat tire. You're going to have to figure it out. I've had 4 flat tires. I've had lots of nights where I didn't know where to camp or where to go or what to do. I've had to jump myself. I've had to learn to get my own recovery gear so that I can be independent. And I think that whether it's on social media or with traveling, like most people won't enjoy it. That's why you don't see that many people doing it. A lot of people are doing this, but there's a reason that certain creators are getting views, and a lot of it has to do with consistency and strategy and staying strong through it all. And it's the same with travel. So if you want to travel, do it, but I wouldn't say don't let me influence you to do it, because I've had women who message me and they're like, "Hey, I just started on the road. How do you not be afraid of every single thing?" And I'm like, I can't help you with that, because I was afraid of every single thing too when I first started. Every noise out there. Like, this is my view right now, you guys. Oh, does it let me flip the camera? This is my view right now. Like, there's coyotes and people and all kinds of things, and so like if you stayed the night out here, you would be afraid, but that's like just a natural part of it. And then you start traveling and you do it, and it gets easier and easier. So the advice I guess I would have is don't do it, but if you're going to do it, just do it. Don't let people talk yourself out of it. Maybe just take a trip to clear your head like I did. Just go somewhere for the weekend. You don't have to like burn your life down. You don't have to get rid of your apartment right away, quit your job right away. Just go take a trip for a week and sleep in your car and see how you feel. Don't bring your can opener. Just go to McDonald's and get a cup of coffee and like figure it out,
Yeah.
And then with the live streaming too, like I didn't live stream from February until June. So I was just doing videos. Like I've always led with my content. It's always been content. We didn't start battling we haven't even been battling a year. Like, we haven't been battling that long at all. I think October is when I started battling. And so, lead with that, lead with your content, lead with your travel, lead with your sense of adventure, whatever it is you're doing on here. Cause like, okay, if you try to, I see people do this all the time. If you try to come on and just battle and you don't have any followers, you're just going to chase people away. It's really hard to grow that way, unless you're doing something. So cook, hike, do stuff with your dog. This is my dog, by the way. She's just back there chilling.
Baby. Oh.
That would be my advice. I don't know.
No, I love that. The consistency and leading with your content, I think, are like the 2 major things that people don't really understand until they know. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to like go through it or listen to your advice and actually take it. You know what I mean? But it is one of those things that, yeah.
I had a period of time where I was telling everybody, just go get therapy instead. Just go get therapy. Don't put yourself on TikTok. Don't put yourself on TikTok. Don't travel. Just don't do it. Get therapy instead and like get a hobby.
So
Garden.
Another question I have. So people on the R websites, right? They're claiming that you're a narcissist. Have you been diagnosed, or like, because I don't see tendencies in you, so I was like, maybe you were diagnosed with something.
I think it's one lady in particular that says that, but I don't know.
I don't see those tendencies. I'm just gonna make that very clear. I do not see that, and I did go to school for psychology, so
I think like introspection and all of that is really hard for narcissism. It sucks that is a word that's thrown around so much. Right. Anytime you don't like somebody, you just say that or whatever, but that actually doesn't bother me, because I do have we have so many discussions, so many deep discussions on the live stream. I don't even feel like I'm at risk for being a narcissist personally.
I see empathy when you're talking about, a conflict that you had with somebody else or whatever. Like I see the empathy, so I don't understand how that could even be confused.
No. But I think also some of it too is the attention in the live stream where I've seen this happen multiple times where somebody gets a lot of attention and then they stop getting attention. And then it starts turning into this thing where it spirals out of control, where they were like a super watcher and then they become out on the outskirts or whatever. And I think it turns into this thing where they start calling you a narcissist or something. I've never really been accused of that before. It's just like, I think it's like one lady in particular that did it. Personally, I think it's just one lady, but heck if I know. I've seen everybody on this app gets called one for some reason. And
right, I know. Well, yeah, we're all narcissists, guys. Everybody's a narcissist. So I know it's definitely a word that's thrown around like a crazy.
Well, and I think too with narcissism, so I have a lot of social anxiety and I have a lot of body image issues, and so I don't think that I could be mistaken. I don't think that leads well into narcissism. I have a fear of crowds. I have trouble, like when I first got on TikTok, I was like this because I was too afraid to show my face because I'm so shy. I'm one of those when I was a kid, like I was so shy, like I would be like behind my mom's skirt type of kid.
Yeah.
And so like there's that too, but you can't really defend narcissism because everybody says narcissists don't know they're narcissists and all these things. So you can't defend narcissism, but my personality is one where I'm a very shy person and I'm an introvert, and like you won't find me. That's why I'm out in the desert. You won't find me like going out into big crowds and stuff generally, like every once in a while, but I have to work my way up to it and I get like panic attacks and stuff.
Yeah, I get it. I used to have the worst social anxiety, like clinically. It was really hard. It was like borderline like agoraphobia. Like I couldn't leave my own apartment.
Really?
So I get it. I really get it.
I know a couple of travelers with agoraphobia, and it's really hard. Like there's this one lady, she made a video about it. She had to pull over off the side of the road and like calm herself down just driving at one point because it was so bad.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Are you okay with this? So I like to give the chat a chance to ask questions as well. I'm not gonna like, if somebody is disrespectful, I'm not gonna ask that, or like if they, like I'll rephrase it maybe if they don't know how to talk. If you're okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's do it, guys. Put questions in the chat. Sorry, I forgot one other question. So I think it was like 6 months ago that Clover needed surgery. How did you handle that whole situation?
So, Clover got, by the way, I didn't get any donations for Clover. I just want to make that very clear. Clover got diagnosed with, she had fatty lipoma. And the fatty lipoma was growing. So she had the fatty lipoma the year before, and a fatty lipoma is a non-cancerous. It's a benign tumor that grows really fast. They can grow like to the size of like they can reach the ground. They can just grow so fast. So anyway, so hers was starting to grow. So every year in October she goes to the vet. I took her a month early because I was getting concerned about it. But she goes to the vet, she gets all of her blood work done, she gets all the things. And so she actually had another one growing next to it that was benign as well. Well, she got two on her back by her tail that were actually MCT tumors. They were cancer. It's an intermediate cancer that can, sometimes people only have a couple weeks left with their dog when they get diagnosed with that. So I actually, luckily, we got it very early. It just looked like a little like old lady's wart or something is what the tech thought that. I was like, do you know what this is? And she goes, oh, that looks like an old lady's wart. She goes, I know that's a weird thing to call it, but that's what we call them. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said they're very normal in dogs. And I was like, okay. And the vet came in and she goes, I don't think that's what it is. And she sent it off, and sure enough, it ended up being that there were two right next to each other. And so we got those removed, and they were clean margins. So for about 4 weeks there, I was at my mom's house. My mom lives very close to the vet. So we stayed at my mom's house, and Clover got, these stitches. Unfortunately, she was very active. And so she had to be under medication for her stitches because she ended up pulling them out and having to get staples. And it put us back like a week or something. So,
Poor baby.
Yeah, for the month of October, we actually were at my mom's house in the garage live streaming while Clover was resting up and healing. And my mom just basically sat with Clover on the couch and watched Price is Right and Judge Judy and stuff with her. It was cool. That was actually when we started battling, because I would get so much trolling at that time because I was just very nervous. I guess like I tried not to show it on the live stream, but I was very like sensitive. So what we started doing was, and I don't want moderators, like I like not having moderators, but we have them from time to time. But what I started doing was battles. That's the very first time we started battling, was during Clover having her surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's cancer free now, and she goes every year. Every year we get her checked for tick-borne diseases. We get her checked for you know, her protein levels, everything. She's on a really great food. She gets a multivitamin. Very well taken care of.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'll start asking questions. Somebody said, why not do a GoFundMe for Clover?
I don't even know how to do. I don't even know how to do. Plus, Clover gets Clover has a savings account. So Clover has her own TikTok, and she has her own. The Jeep has its own savings account. Clover has her own savings account. I try to put away $20, $20, $20. Clover gets all of that. Plus, I have Clover insurance too. So that way, you know, like the pet insurance that we got for that last year covered like the anesthesia, certain things. So yeah, I mean it's expensive, but I wouldn't do a GoFundMe just for that. Like I just personally save, right? So we have our TikTok, we have our YouTube, we have the freelance jobs, and so I can just put my money where it needs to go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Everybody's letting me know that the trolls are really nasty over there. If they are, I'm so sorry.
I don't see, that's my thing. It's like it hurts me that they are, but it's like I want you guys to have a voice, but you really don't have to be disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like you just don't. We're people just like you. So really, it's more just like, oh, tell the truth, blah blah blah. It's not really like,
yeah.
I don't know. But
like,
I can feel that you're being genuine.
Yeah, so. Tell the truth about the judgment, or like the budget, or like
I feel like you're being. You don't have to explain yourself.
Oh, okay.
I can tell that you are. So
yeah,
don't worry about it. Seriously. Guys, what questions do you have? Somebody said, "Can we see Clover?"
Yes. She's Clover. Do you want to say hi? No, she's snoring. She's fine. She's a Clover bird. We took her for a walk before this, so she's good. She's had a big day.
Somebody said, how do you file taxes being a traveler? I feel like it must be the same way as every other TikToker, right?
It's the same, yeah. It's 1099. I'm based in Texas, so there's no state income tax. It's just federal income tax. So anything that you do, whether it's DoorDash, Uber Eats, TikTok, YouTube, any kind of 1099 work, you get a 1099. Even back when I bartended, I got 1099s, and you file that way.
Yeah. Questions. How did you get over being shy on live? That's a really good question.
I just did it a lot. So when I started, I just went for like an hour or two. Actually, when I started, it was I was interviewing people when I started. It was
wow.
For that first month, all I did was interview travelers. So I'd have them give me like a tour of their van, talked about how they got started traveling, any advice for new travelers, and I did that for about a month. And then what happened was I interviewed a traveler that had a big bully. And they came after me. And so I felt like I wanted to stop interviewing. And what I did is I started cooking. And I had to get over that shyness because, so what helped me in the beginning was being side by side with somebody. So I could make myself small. I made myself small in a box. And I only showed half my face. And I was really shy. And the whole live stream was about them. So that was how I got started in the beginning. The whole live stream was about the other traveler. So I asked them all the questions. I sit there for an hour or two just asking them about their power setup, how they keep their food cold, you know, how they do their laundry, all that stuff. And then I decided to stop that and start cooking. And really it made it easier because I was cooking. I made like beef stroganoff and stuff. And so what helped me was focusing on like the food, you know, and not,
awesome.
Yeah. So this is like, I feel like this is like big league, like really super stressful type of style of live streaming to do face-to-face Q&A. that's a very stressful type of live stream. You guys, if you're going to start out, try like making a peanut butter jelly sandwich, walking your dog, doing something where the focus isn't so much set on you telling stories or talking. We never run out of anything to talk about, but that's because we've been live streaming for so long and we're doing so many things. We're out traveling and we have story after story to come across. In the beginning, it's like, you're so shy and people can be mean, and
It's hard. It really, when you first start out, it's like you've never received hate like that in your life. I don't care how many bullies you had growing up. You have never received hate like social media in your life.
yeah.
It's a different level, but let's see. Questions, guys? Questions? So one person said, do you have protection? And another person said, ask her about carrying a pew-pew from state to state, because I guess there are different laws from state to state. So how do you do that?
I do carry. I have a Glock. I have a Glock 43X. I practice with it. I have bear spray, pepper spray. Come find out. I've got a hatchet. I've got different things. Now, there are federal protections as a traveler. So as a traveler traveling through the states, most of the time you need to have it locked up. So I have a little lock case. I can't show it to you guys. TikTok is very particular about the words we use and stuff, but we used to have a channel in the Discord that was for like safety and self-defense, and we'd always talk about this as travel, but we kind of just got rid of that. But basically you have like a little lock case, and you just need to have that locked and away from the driver's seat. So it usually needs to be like in your trunk. So what I'll do is I'll take it out while I'm camping. There are certain places like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. There's a lot of places that are like pretty much open carry. You can have it out. For example, in the state of Washington, you can have it while you're hiking. So I can go hiking in the state of Washington and not worry about leaving it in my vehicle. I always take it out of my vehicle if I do get like a motel room or something like that. If my vehicle were to get broken into, I always grab my passport, my cards, any valuables, as well as my Glock. That gets taken with me too. But I stay within compliance. I consulted with a shop, before I got it, and talked to him and Googled it. There's a whole chart and everything. Now, if you're going to go into Canada or certain places that don't allow it, you can get it with the sheriff's. You can leave it with it. You can go to a sheriff's office and have it locked up. Especially over by the border, they have lists of places that you can put it. Also shops like where you buy them. You can start with them and they'll clean it for you for a fee.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like you can just leave it there, get it cleaned, come back and grab it. Okay, that's really cool.
Let's say I wanted to spend 3 months in California, and California has very strict rules. I could store it with a shop. I could have them clean it, and I could pick it up when I want. Also, if you really want to, like I left it with my sister at one point. Like you could leave it with a family member or a friend, or I don't think you're supposed to leave them with safety deposit boxes at banks, but they don't question what you put in there. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd probably follow the rules on that one regardless, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I just always have it locked up basically usually. And then like I have a little fanny pack, so when I'm out in places like this, and my first defense is not that, by the way. I'm going to pull my bear spray. I have an air horn that is very loud. You can hear it for miles. And so that will deter, like wildlife or a person or whatever. And I've never needed any of this stuff, by the way. I've never needed my bear spray. I've never needed to use the air horn. The only thing I've ever encountered have been like coyotes, foxes, donkeys. So it's been pretty chill most of the time traveling.
That's so cool. Let's see. Somebody said, I guess, have you ever been with a woman?
Pineapple pass. I've dated 2 girls, and I've been intimate to a certain point.
Okay. Valid. I love it. What is New Leaf?
New Leaf? New Leaf is a person that was trolling me pretty hard. New Leaf is one of the pineapple passes that I had messaged you about. He was a person that was trolling me pretty hard, and we have we had an agreement at this point. I don't know where we sit with it, but he's been leaving me alone.
Good. Good. Have you? Yeah, this is one thing I was wondering, Rocking. Have you ever had trouble with wildlife? You're talking about that bear spray and stuff. Like, I'm like, ooh, scary.
Yeah, so I've had donkeys, I've had coyotes, I've had multiple coyote situations. So coyotes will come up and they'll want to take your food most of the time. You have to be careful because they'll surround your camp and they will try to get your dog and stuff. But if they hear you talking, if they see your campfire, most of the time they'll leave you alone. No, I've not really had any scary stuff, really, for the most part. Clover's even scared away a coyote one time. I was cooking steak and the steak didn't turn out, and I had the steak like off to the side, so I hadn't eaten it right away, and I was trying to decide what to do, and this coyote came out and it tried to steal my steak over by the campfire. Me and Clover were by the Jeep, and Clover barked, and it ran off, and it didn't come back for the steak, but the steak wasn't very good in the coyote's defense. But
Yeah.
I've had coyotes. I've had a coyote steal a bag of marshmallows one time. I had a donkey steal a bag of marshmallows. Like what I would do is I would do s'mores and I would set out the marshmallows and they'll just come up and steal the bag and run off with it.
Oh my god, no fear. That's
You just
crazy.
look over and it's running off with a bag of marshmallows.
What the? That's crazy. You're like literally standing right there and they just take it.
Raccoons, yep. And so I've had a wild dog, coyote, a donkey, a raccoon, and then I don't know what. Like they just went away. Clover has no interest in marshmallows. So now what I do is I just take one individual marshmallow out and I leave the bag inside of the Jeep, and nothing has ever taken the individual marshmallow. It's only when you do the bag.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Oh, the bird. A couple of weeks ago, we had a bird come and take my chicken. This big raven. It was like the size of a cat. It came and I had a chicken. I had a package of chicken sitting out, right? Like chicken tenders raw. And I heard peck, peck. It opened up the plastic and it scooped out all the chicken tenders and flew away. What? And I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, no, that's something. That's something. Okay, so it doesn't seem though like you've really been in too much danger.
No. There's been a couple of men that have come to the campsite in the middle of the night, and those have been on live too. And I've let them know, like, hey, we're live streaming right now. There's like 800 people watching you.
Okay, so you've had more danger from men than bears.
Men. Yeah. Well, and you don't know what their intentions are. Like, it'll be like 10, 11 o'clock at night. You're just in the forest camping, and they come up to you.
No.
Yeah, super scary stuff.
Thank you. Bye. No, not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if they like tell you your intentions or not. Like that's not happening. Sorry.
Yeah, there was one guy, he was like, I think under the influence of something, and he freaked me out. So he came, I heard his tires squealing. He was squealing up the forest road, and he came up and he parked behind my Jeep. So my Jeep was parked. I had my tent out. I had like a couple of toolboxes out with my gear, and he parked right behind my Jeep, came up to my window and was trying to talk to me on the live stream, and he left. He said that he was looking for a friend, and he left, and I was freaked out. So I packed up my Jeep, I packed up everything, and I left the tent because I could hear noises, and I didn't know. I was like, the live stream had me all paranoid. They were like, get out of there, everybody. This one lady, she was like, I know him, I recognize him, he's no good. And I was like, ah! So I left my tent and I called the ranger the next day, and I was like, hey, I want to let you know, like, I was bothered by locals and I drove away and I left my tent. You can just like dispose of the tent or whatever. And that was one of the tent controversies, was I should have went back for the tent. But I was too freaked out, and like by then I drove hours away at that point. So I was like, I'm just not going back for the tent.
See, and that is such a valid reason. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. No.
Yeah. Well, I say this all the time. If you are in fear, like if you're out here camping, especially by yourself, even if you're a couple, even if you're a group of people, if you're afraid, you should just feel empowered enough to leave your stuff and just drive away, because you can't sleep at that point. Like, there's no sleeping.
No.
Pack up your stuff if you want to or whatever, but I don't care if I have to drive over that freaking tent. I'm getting out of there because you don't know what that guy's going to do to you. That's how people go missing in these parks and
Right.
stuff, you know?
Listen to your intuition, especially in the woods. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I feel like, I mean, let's do one, maybe two more questions. How about that? I feel like that's good.
He was up to no good. Yeah. How many people were in that? A lot of people were in that one. Everybody was talking about it in the
People want to
chat.
know, people want to know about the ghost story. I don't know.
Oh, well, we go ghost hunting sometimes on the live stream. So I don't really believe in ghosts or astrology or anything. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in a lot of anything.
Okay.
And but I have a natural curiosity. So when I drove out to the desert for the first time, I was camping out in the desert for like a month or so. And at that point I was still like newer, but I wasn't super skittish. And I was falling asleep in the Jeep and I heard like a pebble hit the tailgate by my head. And I was listening and I was trying to decide, like, is that a bug? What is that? I had like animals come up to the Jeep in the middle of the night and like scratch at a flea. And I knew what all that sounded like. And I'd never heard this before. It was like a pebble, a pebble, a pebble. And then all of a sudden, okay, this is so embarrassing. I hate to tell this story, but it's like why I started being curious about ghosts. I heard in my head, I heard, get out of here, go now. I heard the strongest voices that I had ever heard in my whole life, just all at once saying, get out of here. And so I sat up in the Jeep and I was like, whoa. And I like, I drove away. I drove for like an hour and I was like white knuckled the whole time. And I spent like the next week like thinking about it because there was nothing there. And so I went back out there and the exact same thing happened. I heard pebble, pebble, and I was laying down and I was listening really hard. My eyes were so wide and I was trying to like determine like what that was. And I swear it feels like it was like the same energy as like a little kid hitting the pebbles against the back of the Jeep. And the same thing happened. I heard the voices, get out of here, go now.
No.
And I was like, oh my God, I've never been back there since.
Oh my gosh,
And
I just sneezed. Does that mean that no, I'm sorry. No, I feel
you
like
validated
sneezing
it.
sneezing is like historically no, I'm serious. Sneezing is historically known for like a ghost like passing through your body. I'm serious.
Nuh-uh. Okay, well anyway, so I'm not I'm like, okay, you know, you've heard of like sleep paralysis. You've heard about all these things, right? And like, so you're like, it had to have been me, like falling, something happening. So, anyways, I've awakened this curiosity, and I go and I visit my sister a few months later, and I've got this ghost app on my phone, and I decided to put it on her coffee table, and me, my sister, and my niece are talking in the room. And we forget about it because it's not giving us any words. It's supposed to give us words of ghosts talking. And my other niece, her name is Addison. She's in the other room and she's on her iPad and she's like, I don't know, 12 or something. She's just, you know, not paying attention to us. And we start laughing and giggling. So she comes into the room and she says, oh, hey guys, what are you talking about? And the app says Addison, very loud and clear as she's walking in the room. And that for me sold it. My eyes were so wide, my sister's eyes, my niece's eyes, we were so like wide eyed, like we could not believe it said Addison. It hadn't been giving us any words. And then she walks in and it says her name. And that further brought on my curiosity. And so on the live stream, we go ghost hunting sometimes and I'll pull out that app. I've got two phones. And I'll pull out the app and we'll go to places like the world famous haunted clown motel. We've been there 3 times and we've had ghosts talking to us through the night and we've gone through the cemetery and it's pretty cool. But I don't know if I believe in ghosts. Do you guys believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? I don't know.
I don't know what I feel like I'm not against believing anything only because it's like I feel like human beings don't know even the half of it. Like, I'm not against it, but I've never really had an experience with it, so it'd be hard for me to just go full throttle into the belief of it. But if I'm not against it. I don't think really, I don't know. I just have no idea, I guess. I don't know what I don't know, so.
So sometimes we'll go do that. I've taken them to an abandoned mental institution too up in Washington. There's this old state hospital where they did lobotomies and different things, and you can go hike through it now. And so I've done ghost hunting there too with the live show.
That's fun. That's like a cool little like extra hobby or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being genuine. Thank you for like sharing some of the controversies and just about your even pre TikTok life, and just thank you. I appreciate
It was so fun. Thanks for being respectful. And I'm sorry if you got any trolls or anything out of that, but everybody give Sarah a follow. Give her a follow. She has really great content. I was checking out your videos on YouTube. Follow her on YouTube too. She did an interview with Perez Hilton, Adrielle Sigler, Barbie. I don't know. I don't follow that person, but it was an interesting interview, and she's just got a lot of good videos and stuff too, you guys, so give her a follow.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don't lose your 13 win streak. Don't you dare lose it. Okay.
Thanks so much. All right. Request me anytime. This was so fun. I'll see you later. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
That was cool. Okay.